Cape Coral is one of the fastest growing cities in Florida, but here's the catch. It's never really had a true downtown where everything comes together. That's finally changing. About $700 million is going in. Restaurants, entertainment, hotels, public parks, the full setup. This is a major shift for the city. I've been in real estate for over 10 years and things are moving fast. So let me show you what's happening before everyone else catches you on. So we're talking 131 acres right on Pine Island Road. And I mean, that location wasn't picked by accident. Coral Grove sits between Chiquita and Burnstone in Northwest Cape, right next to Bubba's Roadhouse. If you've ever driven on Pine Island, you know exactly where this is. Like, you've passed it. Pine Island is already the main commercial strip out here. That's your Target, your Kohl's, BJ's, Sam's Club, Walmart, all the spots people already go to for everyday stuff. So dropping a 131-acre town center right there, it's building on traffic that's already there. And keep this in mind for later, because the growth in this specific area is going to change how you look at North Cape right now. Stick with me. Now, it's not just about the stores being nearby. This northwest area is growing the fastest in the whole city. About 75% of Cape Coral's growth through 2040 is expected to happen north of Pine Island. That's over 17,000 homes and around 46,000 people moving into this area over the next 15 years. So the people are already here and a lot more are coming. Coral Grove is being placed right in the middle of that growth before it fully hits. And that's the play. And look, if you're watching this because you're thinking about buying in Cape, I work with buyers and investors out here every day. Whether you're trying to get ahead of this or you just want a real breakdown of what's available in the Northwest right now, reach out. My info's in the description. All right, let's get into what's actually being built on those 131 acres. Now, for a city that's had people driving over the bridge just to get dinner and a show, what's actually been approved here, it's worth paying attention to. And just so we're clear, this is coming straight from the City of Cape Coral's official development page. This is approved stuff, not guesses. On the residential side, you're looking at about 1,234 upscale apartments. The cap is 1,312 units. There's also boutique townhomes planned as part of the mix, plus a 125-room luxury hotel going in there too. Then you got the commercial side, and this is where it gets exciting. Over 350,000 square feet of retail and entertainment space, with a movie theater, bowling alley, and even a comedy club already confirmed. And the developer is also planning a big national grocery store as the main anchor, with national brands and restaurants built around it. And later, I'll break down what this could do to property values, because the data North Cape right now actually surprised me a bit. Stay with me. Now, on top of that, you got 2 public parks, an event lawn, and walkable areas all throughout the site. And yeah, more than 5,000 free parking spaces. So you're not driving in circles forever just to find a spot, you know? Because that's really what makes this a true town center. This gets everything together. Retail, entertainment, parks, hotels, all in one place, built to keep people here in Cape Coral. But what they're trying to turn this into culturally, it goes beyond just the buildings. And that's what we're getting into next. So the developer here, they're not just building square footage, they're trying to build something Cape Coral's never really had, a reason to actually stay in the Cape. The city's projecting up to 200 events a year at Coral Grove. So think farmers markets, outdoor concerts, food festivals, wellness stuff, seasonal events, pretty much something going on all the time. And the design reflects that. It's open air walkways, parks, places to hang out, people walking around. It's very different from the typical strip mall setup you see all over Cape. The city manager, Michael, said it pretty clearly. Residents have wanted a place in Cape Coral where they don't have to cross the bridge, somewhere to meet, hang out, shop, and just enjoy the night. That's basically what this whole project is trying to do. But the part that's hard to measure is what a real sense of place does for a city. Cape Coral already has the canals, the waterfront, the lifestyle. That's what was missing. This is the first real shot at building from the ground up. And once you see how much money is going into this, you start to realize this isn't just another project. It's a different level for Cape Coral. So here's the thing. Cape Coral has been mostly residential since the 1950s. No real commercial core, just spread out neighborhoods everywhere. But when something like this comes in, a $700 million project, it's a big deal. For places like Cape Coral, that number hits different. City officials are already calling Coral Grove one of the largest private projects the city's ever seen. And the long-term economic impact is estimated at $1.3 billion. And even that number, they're saying it's probably conservative. During construction, you're looking at around 6,500 jobs. And once it's fully up and running, there will be over 1,000 permanent jobs on site. The closest comparison people are making is Mercado in North Naples. If you've been there, you know what that did for that area. It basically created that walkable town center feel for the first time. So take that idea and now apply it to a city with way more people and way more room to grow. That's what's happening here. And keep that skill in mind when we talk about the construction timeline. For me, it's one of the more interesting parts of the whole story. Stay around, we'll get there. But this kind of investment in a city that's never had a real center answered before, it's a turning point. And the way the city structured this deal to protect that vision, that's why people are actually taking it seriously. Now, the part that most people skip over, and it's the most important piece of this whole thing, Cape Coral approved a performance-based deal with the developer back in August 2025. And I mean, the way this is set up, it's actually pretty smart. The developer can get a grant worth up to 95% of the new property taxes from the project, but only on the new construction value and only after certain construction milestones are hit. So the city's not paying anything up front. No money moves unless this thing actually gets built. That's the key. But here's the clause you really want to understand, because this is what separates this from a lot of projects that never go anywhere. The city's economic development manager said it straight up. The developer cannot move forward with residential if the commercial doesn't happen. That's written into the agreement. So what that does, it guarantees there's going to be a real town center, not just a bunch of apartments with a little strip of retail on the side, you know? The incentive here isn't just protecting the city's money, it's protecting the whole vision of the project. At the end of the day, this deal is built to make sure Coral Grove actually happens. And speaking of timing, let me show you the timeline. Okay, so the project isn't some far off plan. The infrastructure is already going in the ground right now. According to the city's project page, all the early work started in early 2026. Roads, utilities, grading, all of it. Phase 1 vertical construction is targeted for the second part of 2026. For the second half of this year, you're actually going to start seeing buildings come up. The anchor tenant, the first part of the town center, and the first residential building. But remember what we just talked about, that commercial first rule. That anchor retail isn't optional. It has to happen before the apartments move forward. So the town center comes first, then the residential follows. Now, full build out of the whole 131 acres? Yeah, that's gonna take a few years. This is a big project, but the sequence is locked in. The incentive structure backs it up, and the infrastructure is already underway. Pretty much everything is moving on schedule. And getting to the question I get all the time on this, who's actually signed on as tenants? The honest answer, we know the categories, we don't know the names yet. No specific tenants have been officially confirmed by the developer or the brands. What we do know is the developer is planning a first-class national grocery store as the anchor. There's been talk locally about Cooper's Hawk going in there. Publix and Whole Foods have both been mentioned as possibilities. And yeah, you can expect national restaurant brands throughout the project, but none of that is signed and announced yet. Even the hotel operator hasn't been named. Most of these deals are still in the marketing or negotiation phase right now. And that's completely normal for something at this scale. You don't announce tenants until leases are signed. And you don't sign leases until construction is far enough along for them to plan everything out. So as soon as vertical construction starts in Q3 of 2026, expect that to change pretty quickly. The foundation of this deal is solid. The details are still coming together, and that's just where we are right now. It's not a red flag. So now that you've got the full picture, let's talk about what this actually means if you're buying or investing in North Cape today. Here's the real deal. Coral Grove isn't coming by itself. You've got Hudson Creek, 1,745 acres, about 3,500 homes. Then we got 7 islands with 995 units. Man-made islands, Marriott branded resort, public marina. And there's a Walmart Supercenter expected to break ground on Pine Island in the future, but the project has stalled. So these aren't just plans sitting somewhere. All of this is happening at the same time, in the same area, right on top of each other. And you're starting to see it in the numbers. Closed sales in Cape Coral went up 16% year over year in February. Inventory dropped 26%, which is the biggest drop in Southwest Florida. And showings per listing jumped almost 23%. Now think back to that bridge issue we talked about. If you got a real town center on the northwest side, a lot of people don't need to make that drive anymore for dinner or entertainment. That changes how people look at living in North Cape. Now, it's still technically a buyer's market right now. Prices have come down from the 2022 peak, but absorption is picking up, especially in this northwest corridor. And when you look at everything coming into this area, it's all pointing one way. The north side of Cape Coral has more investment hitting it right now than it ever has, and specifically along Pine Island Road. So if you've been on the fence about buying in Northwest Cape, this is kind of the centerpiece you needed to understand first. Don't sleep on it. It really has a lot of potential there. Cape Coral's been a great place to live for a long time, but it's never really had a place where everyone comes together. Coral Grove is a first real answer to that. So if you're looking at North Cape and you're trying to get ahead of what's coming, just email me at german@swflhouses.com today. I work with buyers out here every day, and I can tell you what's actually worth moving on right now. And if you're serious about understanding Cape Coral, I linked another video right here that breaks it down even further. Watch that next. It'll give you a much clearer picture. By the way, if you haven't already, hit subscribe. I'm putting out new videos every week to help you stay ahead of what's happening in this market. Thanks for watching.